Hey y'all, this is Kat. I got a different kind of setup here. I don't know if it's gonna work. The last one I dropped my phone again into my painting. This was the last painting I did. I don't know if you can see the glitter, but there's some ultra fine glitter at Dollar Tree, and they come in small packages, so you got to be really careful when you're trying to move them to another container, because I got 3 of each color, 3 packages, but there's gold running through here, so of course I used the gold glitter. Anyway, that's that. I was out last night. Today was the first trash pickup of the month, which means everybody can throw anything out there. And I found a 3.5 foot by 5 foot canvas. They used a medium which raised flowers off the canvas, so I will be scraping that down, but it was a heck of a find. I also found a chandelier. I happened to do this at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, but it gets me out and keeps my mind active. So does painting. Okay, I'm going to do ring pour, I guess. I'm not noted for doing it, so I think it's about time. I've got an 8 by 10 canvas. I cleaned it and I sanded it down, and with the house paint and Floetrol, I don't need to put gesso over it. If I did, I would be using my Floetrol and Kills mixture that I've got, and it works really well. And the reason I use Kills is because I had a whole gallon that was never used by the contractor that worked on my house when I bought it. I'm shaking up my house paint and Floetrol. The house paint is 1/3 to 2/3 Floetrol. I don't like using water for my base color because it tends to jump all the way to the surface of my painting in the end. Okay, here we go. I got this little silicone thing from Wish. It was free, and you pay shipping, which was $1. And I don't know what I'm going to really do with it. It was made for makeup, so I had to cut the edges because it was curved like for your face. So I just straightened it out, but it seems to be working pretty good. This is my first try. It came in today's mail with a electric saw to chop branches. And I also stopped at my garden center and got me 6 tomato plants. 3 heirloom yellow tomatoes, and then pretty boys. And now I just have to figure out where I'm gonna put them and how I'm gonna stick them up, because I only have 2 cages. Okay, this is not working as well as I thought it would. My spatula would work a whole lot better. This is streaking, and I assume that's because there's already a painting and I had varnished it like a dummy. Don't varnish it unless you're totally happy and it dried dark. and I thought the varnish would lighten the picture up, and it didn't. No big deal. Nothing new around here. I'm kind of happy about that painting I found. A month or so ago, I found 2 paintings, but they weren't at all that big. I had a heck of a time getting it in my car today. I've got a economy-sized car, and I could not get it in my trunk. So it ended up in the back seat. And that was a real trick getting it in and out. See, I'm having issues with edges. This might be a good swipe tool, but it doesn't beat the stick. I know your time's valuable. I sure don't want to waste it trying to apply the background color. If you like listening to me rant on about my life, and I've got a little dog and some birds, please like and subscribe and hit the bell. I usually have a video once or twice a week. I have silicone. I'm using coconut milk. That's dimethicone. Hair serum. But I'm kind of crazy about sales right now. I guess I've only got this 1 cup. Like a dummy, I had used paint for the background and just blew right past that one. I've noticed that when I pour colors, I tend to lose my silicone or dimethicone, because by the time you get done, it's all floated to the top and you've already poured it out. Because as soon as I do the flip cup, I've noticed that my cells are on top and I can't torch anything because there's nothing to torch. So I end up having to add more. My last pour that I showed you, I did CRC, coconut milk serum, and KY True Feel. I figured, what the heck? But I ended up with too much paint and poured most of it off. I'm using the same colors from the last pour. No, I'm not going to use blue. I thought I was, but I'm not. No, don't need to. I've got DecoArt Paints. I've got burgundy. I've got oatmeal. I've got this thing called espresso. I'm not too sure what color that is. And this is a, it says antique gold, but I've mixed my own color in that. So it's kind of like a happy conglomeration. I don't know what happened here. I haven't done nothing. And now here's hair and everything in here. Okay. Wipe my nose, and there's all kinds of stuff all over the canvas. Okay, I'm going to start with the oatmeal. I know I'm going to lose most of my paint. And then the burgundy. I did paint swatches on top of these baby food containers because I have no desire to sit there and name them on a little piece of plastic. So I just did what the paint store does. Well, what happened, why that came out so fast is I already had Floetrol in it, trying to get the last out of that bottle. Get some gold here. And I got a gold gunk. It's the only problem with pre-mixing this stuff. You never know it's gonna gunk up on you. Yeah, there's something stopping it from coming out. It could be the Floetrol. I was at the bottom of the container. I tried the pantyhose to strain it, and that didn't work out well at all. Okay, there we go. There's the gold. I'm going to put some black in here. I want something to show up. Not going to do a whole lot. Just going to layer it. It's high enough that it's mixing, so I don't have to stir it when I do the pour. An 8 by 10 canvas usually takes about 3 ounces of paint, but this is a large regular 5-inch cup, so I'm going to have paint extra, lots of paint. I've been finding lids in the trash to totes, which I'm kind of happy about, because it just gives me more to deal with. Well, I think I just lied. I am going to slightly stir it, because I just put more coconut milk serum in there. Okay, let's see what happens here. I may need my stick. might have used too much black. I got the nervous jitters, so my ring pour is not coming out exactly as a ring. I hope I can pour most of that black off and get the gold coming through. I just had a nervous zigzag right there. Maybe I can fix it. I have to take in-brow shots for psoriatic arthritis, and it just loads me up with the nervous jitters. I'm gonna torch this up. This is the second day using my new torch, and it seems to be working pretty good. Okay, I'm not getting any more cells than I was getting, but it is popping bubbles. But I can see the silicone on the top, the oil. Okay, let's start moving this around. I don't particularly want white edges. Well, I keep tilting that way and I'll have an armful of paint. I'm trying to pay attention and not drip all my cells and my center off. Let's see if I can get it back to the middle. Most of it fell off. I've been watching this lady called Helen from Georgia, and she's doing all kinds of stuff. Playing in cement, and then using, you know, paints to do this fancy stuff. She did a mushroom out of cement using Quickcrete she's done fairy houses and bird baths, and she'll use acrylic paint to decorate it. Kind of neat. And it's kind of like Old Home Week because I'm from Georgia. Even though I'm in Cleveland now, I miss it. But I did spot blackberries up here while I was out driving this weekend for Lyft and Uber. So I'm going to actually be making my jelly. And I know nobody up here is going to bother. They're not going to be in competition to get these blackberries. It's just the situation. Now, I had to make it a hidden secret in Georgia. But I got a hair I can't get rid of. I got rid of it. Yippee. Okay. Well, I think I got the excess paint off. Let me center it again. And we'll call this a done deal. I had too much of the mustard yellow color. I'm not too crazy about that. But somebody might like it. Okay, I'm going to stick it down, wipe my hands, and then I'm going to try torching it again. Usually my cells show up as soon as I pour the paint, and then there's nothing to torch because it's already all on the surface. At my beginning of this, about a year ago, the torch would bring up, or the heat gun would bring up a lot of cells. But it's not doing it now for some reason, and I don't know if it has to do with the weather. But I'm going to give it a try. Yeah, I don't see any cells accumulating. It's like I wasted my money on the torch, except for air bubbles. But there is no air bubbles. But I'm not getting more cells, which I really don't need. If you notice, it's pretty loaded up. I'm just hoping where I get going on the edges that it might have celled up a little better. Okay. Well, I think that's a done deal. I'll be playing with edges, which I don't see that, I need to do that on camera. Everybody knows how to touch up their edges. And I think it's all about the character of the piece when you finish it, not your edges. So you all have a great one, and I hope that you will subscribe and like and be my friends. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.